Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie back at you today with another product review. And what I'm looking at today, guys, is George Dickel Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey, number 12. They have a number 8, which is their standard variant. That's a black label. I believe it's aged 4 years. This one is, I believe, I could be wrong because there is no age statement on this, which they're not required to do if it's over 4 years, or 4 years or over. But it does say that our superior number 12 has a rich depth of flavor perfectly balanced with Dickel's signature smooth finish. The rich flavors of number 12 come from resting our whiskey in oak barrels for years longer than our classic number 8 blend. I believe it's between 6 and 8. That seems to be the sweet spot for a lot of these extra aged whiskeys. In this smooth finishing 90 proof whiskey, you'll find flavors of rich oak and subtle vanilla with hints of sweetness and smoke. And it does say, excuse me, there's a lot of stuff on this label. I'm not going to read everything, but this is interesting. Inspired early on, George discovered that his whiskey made in the cold winter months tasted smoother. Today we follow this tradition by chilling our whiskey before filtering it through sugar maple charcoal. We think our unique chilled filtration process makes a fine whiskey. Hope you agree. So that's interesting that they chill it like that. Very cool label design, I think. Kind of a classic look to it. As you can see, I've had the bottle for a while and had quite a bit out of it already. I've been enjoying sipping on this one. And this is not labeled as a bourbon, much like Jack Daniel's is not labeled as a bourbon, but this one definitely qualifies to be a bourbon according to the United States government, but they choose not to label their whiskey as such. I'm not really sure why, but Jack Daniel's does the same thing. It's called Tennessee whiskey on the label. So, gave it a pour, guys. Oh, and this is a Diageo brand currently. It's a Diageo brand. Okay, look at that color, guys. Look how rich, how deep that color is. Like a really nice amber, somewhere in the copper amber range. Very deep and rich color. Very dark. So you know it's got some good age to it, guys. Some nice alcohol legs going down the glass as well. It looks amazing as far as the color. The aroma, it's definitely in your face. This is 90 proof, so a little bit higher than your standard 80 proof whiskeys. You're getting wood initially, some nice charred oak, little vanilla, caramel sweetness. A little bit of the alcohol because it is higher alcohol than standard whiskey, so that's coming through a little bit, but I mean, just in the sense that it's burning the nostrils a little bit, but it doesn't have an alcohol smell really. But you know it's there. I mean, it's definitely burning the nostrils more than your standard whiskey would, which makes you know that it's a little bit higher. It smells really good. A lot of wood, a lot of oak with this one, which I really like in a bourbon. I think that's indicative of a really high quality bourbon because it means that it's aged for a longer period of time. It's absorbed more of the flavors from the oak, creates a more complex and enjoyable whiskey, which is why it was more money also. I think it was either 24 or 26. I think $26.99 for the 750 ml bottle, which I think for a product like this, higher proof, aged longer. George Dickel, very famous brand, I think that's a pretty good value. You're not spending an arm and a leg, and you're getting a pretty legendary product. Not something that people are gonna, scoff at you for if you bring it to a party, that type of thing. I mean, it's a very well known and revered brand. All right, it smells like a winner, guys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Cheers. All right, you're picking up on the oak, a definite oak forward presentation. That charred wood presence, you're getting a lot of the caramel, vanilla sweetness, toffee, a little bit of like another sweet, maybe like maple syrup or something like that, but it's not sweet, but it's got that that flavor a little bit. If you like a good extra aged whiskey with a lot of wood complexity, this is one to go for, guys. I mean, there's no natural flavors or coloring added to this, and you're getting that nice deep color. I mean, you know that it's absorbed a lot from the wood, and I'm really enjoying it. If you don't really like bourbon, though, I mean, if you like more mild bourbon whiskey, then you probably wouldn't go for this. Ron Ontario of Louisiana Beer Reviews, we talk a lot about whiskey, and he's not really a big bourbon drinker because he doesn't like the charred wood boldness that you get, which I do. I'm the complete opposite. I absolutely love it. This one is bold. It's in your face. It's really good. It's got a nice complex flavor with a lot of different things that you can pick up on, some of which I'm sure I'm leaving out because I'm still relatively inexperienced with this type of thing, especially when it comes to reviewing these products, which is why I don't give anything other than beer a numerical rating. I'll just give them an overall like letter grade because I really don't know enough. I don't feel like my palate is refined enough to do that. The caramel sweetness is really kind of coming through on the aroma now. It's opening up a little bit. The finish is pretty quick. It's not a super quick drop off, but it's not really a super lingering finish either. But it is higher proof, and all that wood presence and everything kind of makes it to where it lingers just a little bit. I'll just say that it lingers a little bit, but it's not a long finish, I don't find. But it's not. I've had so many whiskeys that are just immediate drop off, nothing. This one kind of stays with you a little bit, which, as good a flavor as this whiskey has, I'm enjoying that. I don't mind it. Very good, guys. That wood presence continues to build the more you sip on it. There's a lot of nice, complex whiskey flavors with this one that you're getting from that barrel, and the extra aging really helps with this one. I'd also like to try their standard variant, the number 8. I think that would be probably more for you whiskey drinkers out there who don't want something super bold and in your face. You want something a little bit more mellow and kind of standard as far as just your typical whiskey flavors. That would probably be the one you would want to go with. But I like nice, bold whiskeys that have been aged a little bit longer, that have a little bit higher alcohol. I find that they have more flavor, more complexity, and are just really enjoyable once you get into them. This one is a winner, guys. I would highly recommend it. I think the price point is pretty reasonable for such a high-quality, extra-aged bourbon or Tennessee whiskey, whatever you want to call it. But by all intents and purposes, This one, it's a bourbon. Same with Jack Daniels. You know, they don't call theirs bourbon either. It's Tennessee whiskey, and that's just more of a marketing thing. They want to stand out, kind of differentiate themselves from the other major brands, which I get. So I think this one is it's a solid A, guys. It's definitely excellent. I think that if you are a big bourbon lover and you like these extra aged bourbons with a lot of wood barrel presence, you know, extra wood flavor, that charred oak component, I think you'll really love it. Um, and I would, like I said, I would highly recommend it. So there you go, guys. That's it for the George Dickel number 12 Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Definitely go check this out. If you've had it, let me know what you think. I'd really be interested in hearing from other people about this product. So that'll do it for this review, guys. And until next time, everybody, cheers.